Regular Guy Barbecue family, we are back and the food police are on their way. Holy moly, is that loud. Anyway, so let's get to it, shall we? Again, Memorial Day weekend. We've got some fantastic things going on. A little update for you before we get started. We're pushing 300 subscribers as of today. Fantastic. All of you that have subscribed recently that came on from What the Hales and Storage Legends, thank you all very much. You're making us reach our goals and have our dreams come true.
Having fun, lots of fun now.
We're having a blast.
Glad to have people to have fun with.
I'll tell you what, we like sharing with you guys. We hope you guys have as much fun maybe trying some of these things out that we do. We love doing it, and we're going to keep doing it as long as I can still stand on these two old feet of mine, right? And also, before we get started, you know how to do the subscribes if you haven't, the shares, the likes, the 2 no likes if you don't like, and the bell notifications so you can ring a ding every time we come on and do another video, okay?
Y'all are also asking, some of you have been asking about my YouTube channel.
You know, Danielle actually had a YouTube channel up soon.
I don't really have anything on there
She did some
special.
stuff in high school when she was there. And
Just stuff I didn't want to save but keep
yeah,
still.
right. So,
Pika 995, if you see me floating around, that's me.
That's her. All right, are we ready to start?
I don't know, you got more stories?
Well, there's a little story about a man named Judd. You know, he was a poor mountain near and he really kept me. Oh, sorry. God, I get so
I just wanted to say that.
No, it's cool.
I noticed.
Pika 995 is my daughter's YouTube channel. She's got a couple things she did in high school and some things that are really hot right now. I'm not going to tell you what they are. Go check out her channel and you'll see older videos of a collection that she has that's really second to none.
We need to do a new one sometime.
Literally, it's second to none.
Hey, we could post it on our channel.
We'll do that later.
Let's get to cooking.
Let's get to cooking, shall we? So we've got the gang coming over tomorrow. We're going to try to do this potluck that I kind of talked about in a little different manner. We're providing the meats. They're going to provide the side dishes and things like that and go on from there. Now, what am I doing?
We're still the entertainment.
If nothing else, you can laugh along at me. Anyway, so we're going to make a marinade today first. So real simple ingredients with our marinade today. We tried to go with more of a citrus route. Instead of doing the orange sodas and the juices and apples and things like that, we're using this sort of soda that's a grapefruit and lime, lemon juice, garlic, because we got to have that, and we got some.
Oh,
fresh
it is
limes
grapefruit. I thought it was lemon.
No, we got limes to put in our coconut too. So Rosie will appreciate lime in her coconut, right, Rosie? You know what it is. So we're gonna add a little garlic to our thing now. Okay, so we added a little garlic in there. We're gonna add some lime juice or lemon juice, just because we like lemon juice. And you know, lemon juice. If you haven't seen us do any of our marinades before, like with our briskets and ribs and things like that, citruses can really help sort of tenderize your meats when you marinate them before you cook them. So we like to do that, and they give you good flavors as well, right? Right. On with the show. This is it. Oh, excuse me. So we're gonna add 2 liters of this soda. And you know, the other thing this will do too is, you know how we talk about having the sweetness splash, sweet and savory that go together. I'm getting a face full of it. This will provide some of that sweet because there's sugar in the soda. So you know, it'll help caramelize the outside of our meats and things like that. So just something that's good to use. Marinating is not required when you do cook low and slow meats, but as we've discussed in previous videos also, this can also help you keep your moisture content up, right? It's all right. Sorry, this takes a little while.
That's why I was saying glug glug, trying to be
Glug,
funny.
glug, glug,
Because it is
glug.
glug glug.
So how's everybody doing? Everybody having a good
Hungry.
You getting hungry, yeah. You getting hungry or what?
I've been hungry.
Yeah. I'm going hungry. Yeah, I know this is like watching paint dry. It's boring. Ring a ding 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 ding.
So how about that airline food?
Yeah, that's right. All right, so we got that taken care of. Now the last ingredient we're going to add is going to be some limes. Now they were 5 for $1 or whatever they were. Normally when I'm going to like juice a lime or juice a lemon or an orange or something like that, I'm going to roll it around on here and put some pressure down on it to try to loosen the juices. He said loosen the juices.
Lucy juicy.
But since we're going to be using this part of the marinade only, we're just going to cut these up into some, you know, some chunks like that.
Like that.
Like that. And we're just going to toss them in like that.
Got all those
All right,
too.
so we'll cut these up here. All right, so there we go. We're back in, and we got our last of our lines going in, and there they are. Now, let's go see what we're cooking, shall we?
Classic.
Now, we've got 3 different meats that we're going to be putting on tomorrow. We've got this here. This is a pork shoulder roast. It's, what does this thing weigh? Almost 3 pounds. So it's not real big. Again, reduced prices. We like that. We got a whole pile of these. These are country style ribs, pork ribs. And again, they were on special, so we bought all of them.
We're doing this much for 12 people.
Yeah. And then we got a little bitty beef brisket. Isn't that cute?
That's mine.
It's about 2.5 pounds. So none of this stuff is going to take a super huge amount of time because it's not super huge meats. Nevertheless, we got plenty to feed everybody. It should go over pretty well. So, and the other thing we did, of course, when we buy these close to date, like we've talked about in the past, we put them in the freezer. Now these are still a little bit frozen.
Sorry.
There's a reason that we want them to be a little bit frozen. Can you guess what it is? Stop the video right now, pause the video, and put it in the comments below what you think we should do or why we keep these a little bit frozen.
Here, we'll do a 3, 2, 1, 0.
So the reason we keep these a little bit frozen, if you guys watch the brisket video again, you'll see that when we use our cooler to marinate instead of a bucket, because we got to put the bucket in the Frigidator, this is our ice. Since it's not summertime, it's not super hot out yet, this being frozen will keep the
With it now being a high of 70 in the middle of the night.
Right, exactly. Low of 70.
Low of 70.
This will keep our marinade cool overnight, so when we're ready to cook tomorrow, these will have defrosted. This will still be cold. Everybody wins, and we don't have to thin the marinade out with water.
It saves you a little money, too, from having to buy ice.
That's exactly right. You got it. So what we're going to do is really quite simple. We're literally going to cut these open.
We're going to ding.
Ringing and dinging. Because that thing likes to make a lot of noise every time I'm trying to shoot video.
Hey, my phone does, too. Don't worry. Just my little...
Pony.
This thing on the back of my phone.
So you can see what that looks like. That's just country style rib. Nothing real fancy, but it's still pretty frozen. So they're just going to go down in the marinade. Okay. So again, we're going to cut off of this part to get these all unwrapped and things. I will show you this one too, just before we go. This is also our pork shoulder roast.
Yeah, because we're almost going on 10 minutes here.
Yep, and we're gonna open this one up too.
That one's mine.
No, this is the pork roast.
Oh.
This isn't the brisket. Now you may be thinking to yourself, okay, so you're marinating these and everything, and what about the brisket? Good question. The brisket we're not going to marinate, and part of the reason I'm not going to marinate the brisket is we're going to try to use technique. Now, Technique.
It's not like this or this. It's like
this. Yeah. The technique that we're going to be using on that is going to not involve a marinate. We're going to do an injection on it, and then we're going to use a Spritzy. You've met Spritzy before, right?
I thought it was Misty.
Misty, yes. I'm sorry, Misty. We're going to mist the brisket, smaller brisket like that. Marinate's really not that necessary. If we inject it, everything should be fine for flavor and for moisture. Okay, so we're not going to do that on this one. All right, so we'll get these opened up and get them in the marinade, and we'll show you what it looks like when it's done. So we got them all cut up. Now, one thing we did notice, and unbeknownst to me, mostly because I can't read, it happens. Some of them containers, or the little packages that we had thin sliced pork chops. So we put them in anyway. And what we're going to do then tomorrow is, instead of having 3 different meats to serve, guess how many we're going to have? 1, 2, 3, applesauce. 4. That's 4.
You're holding 5 up. Your thumb don't bend.
Not very well anymore. So we'll have 4 meats to serve tomorrow. We'll get some pork chops. We'll just do them towards the end. Now, these actually come in 3 pieces inside of each package. Of course, since they're frozen, they don't come apart, but that's all right.
We had one come apart.
We had one come apart, yeah. Probably that one was
Details.
So what we'll do then is these are probably going to take somewhere in the neighborhood of an hour to cook. So I think what we're going to do tomorrow is, once we get the smokers lit up, we're going to probably take 6 of them, 8 of them, something like that. We'll put them on the smoker. We'll show you how they cook. And then when it gets closer to time to actually serving all of our friends and family that are coming, we'll cook the rest of them. But we'll do some of the taste tests so you can see how they look and things
Yeah,
like
we'll
that.
have our lunch.
Well, yeah, we'll have our lunch and then we'll cook our supper.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to put this to bed like we always do. Say nighty-night. Say nighty-night.
We gotta tuck it in.
Tuck it in. Into the shed he goes.
You gotta put the towel on and cover you the blanket.
If we don't want it to get cold tonight, right? There you have it. All right. So we're going to get supper for tonight. We're going to go to get some sleep. And tomorrow's going to be a long and fun day with all of our friends and family coming over to eat and enjoy all the foods that we do. And hopefully we can make things that taste good. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Oh, hey, gang. Hey, day 2 time. We're just getting things prepped and ready to go here. Check that out. Ooh. There's that. Now, just one thing I want to do before we get started here, shall we?
Pardon my finger, gang.
Getting finger dingers in the way?
Always.
So, as you guys know, we said earlier in the video, and if we didn't hear it, we'll just say it again. It is Memorial Day weekend. We are getting ready to have fun and feed the masses and do good things and enjoy ourselves. But before we get started on today's video portion, I just want to take a minute to say thank you to everybody that's served in our military. We appreciate everything you guys have done, and of course, some that get forgotten are the ones that don't have a headstone at the cemetery, and maybe they never made it home. They're kind of lost at seas or lost somewhere out in the world fighting for our freedom. And those are the ones that we're trying to be grateful for today. So just take a moment of silence to say thank you in your mind to those that made our freedom possible. Okay, now let's get to the cooking, shall we? We pulled everything out of the marinade, all the pork. Now, if you look down below Franken card here, you can see we got a few ribs. And we did only find 1 pack of those little tiny pork chops, so we're going to just do a quick clip of
That's our lunch.
That's our taste testing. We're going to do a quick clip of those during this video just to show, hey, here's how you can do these little medallion pork chops and such and such and such. All right, now, we're going to do an injection on the brisket, and we're going to have to do it on the pork too because it's here. Where's my injector? There it is. Now, what we've done to make our injection is real simple. You remember how in some of the other videos we've talked about how we like to recycle? To recycle again. You remember that one, right?
About 3 cycle.
There's recycle.
3 cycles.
Recycle. So what we've done is we've taken some of our marinade out of our bucket, and I'm just adding a couple of tablespoons of Worcestershire. Just to give it a little bit of that, beefy goodness that we like, right? You guys know about that. And
I mean, it's pork, not beef.
yeah, well, right. Well, we're doing pork and beef. So.
Well, you got 1 thing of beef.
Yeah.
Listen to it.
That's a really shallow pan to do this in, but no matter. This is a really tiny beef brisket. It's really small. There's not much fat. There's no fat cap on it, which is a little bit concerning to me, but never. You will be quiet.
Excuse you.
Yeah, excuse you. Not a big deal. We use our techniques that we've been teaching you along the way to help keep this moist.
The fly wants the liquid.
He's hungry, thirsty or something. Burp. The techniques that we use along the way, marinades and injections and mistings and all those good things, are going to help us along the way to keep this meat moist, tender, juicy, and fun. Yeah?
So a question for the interwebs.
Sure.
I know we've talked about it before.
Absolutely.
How do you tell when you're done putting the liquid in?
Well, there's no right answer to that. I guess if you're really that maximized juicing, if you will, you can just do it until it
comes out of all their holes.
You can see it's running on the table right now. So I think we put quite a bit in there.
I remember a couple times where it's coming out of the little holes.
Like that?
Yeah.
Yep. So you can kind of do as much as you want. Now you can see that this little mini pork shoulder that we have here, the roast, as they called it on the package, I think looks like a little shoulder to me, but show a little shoulder, Whoa, gotcha. She got a face full of that marinade.
I should have had my mask pulled up.
Okay, so we got a little injection in there. Now you guys also remember one of the other techniques that we use is a water pan, right? You guys remember that, right?
Well, it's not water in there.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let's come over here to a vertical smoker that we're going to be using today.
This thing.
And we're running about 275 degrees right now. We're going to probably turn that down. So excuse me, I got to get my hot gloves. We're probably going to close the damper up a little bit to try to get it down to about 250-ish. Just so we can be a little more in control of
Good
things.
job of doing safety this time.
Safety?
Yeah, taking that thing off.
Oh, you mean putting my gloves on? Yeah, I'm genius. So, again, we've used the marinade for the pork. We used the injection for both. And then of course we can use the water pan to also help with the moisture levels. Because you guys have seen us do that before. But that's going to help out with that little mini brisket because he don't have much fat. He didn't get marinated. He needs a little help. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, I'm Lord.
Yada, yada. Okay. A little bit of cleaning just to be on the safe side. You guys know about that stuff, right?
Oh, but the metal shavings.
No, we're using Brillo pad this time, so it's not no metal shaving. We're just skipping this stuff because this one's actually still pretty clean, so we just gotta knock a few crumbs off. Okay, there we are. I'm not gonna oil that thing. I don't know why. I'm just not gonna. Now the pork shoulder, if you will, does have a fat cap. So contrary to what some people believe, we're gonna cook it with the fat cap down.
That's what we like doing.
That's what we like doing because we believe that the fat cap should be there to protect the good parts of the meat.
You don't like how we're doing it? Show us how you do it.
Well, and there's no wrong way to do it, but the theory that a lot of people have is fat cap up, so it'll render all that fat down into it.
Which makes sense.
It'll render a little bit of the fat down into it, but you're never going to render all that fat down in there, and it's just do try it this way.
Unless you want to put it on for like 24 hours, and by the time you're
You
done.
would never do it. I don't care.
Yeah.
So there we go. Okay. Now I'm going to close this off just about halfway, just try to get the temperature down a little bit. Now we are doing the potluck today with all of our friends and family. So that's why we have several different cuts of meat. We have different cuts of meat. We'll have different side dishes. Everybody contributes, everybody plays along, and everybody gets to taste some of the good stuff. Now we do have charcoal in the vertical smoker as well as a big chunk of our old apple tree to give us our smoke flavor. These are probably going to take somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 hours. That's my guess. Of course, you guys know as well as I do, we don't go so much by time. We don't look at it and go, I'm sorry, you need to cook for 15 minutes more. You can't be at temperature yet.
It decides when it wants to be done.
It tells you when it's going to be done. So we're guessing at 3 hours, which will give us an hour to let it rest before we serve. We plan on eating about 4 o'clock. It's about noon here now, so that's our plan. We're going to have a little time in between because the ribs and things are not going to take more than an hour to slow and low. And our side dish we're going to make is going to be more preparation time than it is going to be actual cook time. So we're going to have a nice long break here to get other things prepped and done. We will come back and show you how things are going. Probably about an hour into the cook on this, we'll get a little bit of juice to mist on there, or dump on there, or squirt on there, whatever we're going to do. And yeah, so
see you in a second.
All right, everybody, we got everything else going for our cookout today.
Whoops, hands in the way.
And we put our hand in the way, and it's time to cook the country style ribs. So Derek's going to be giving me a hand today because I'm kind of feeling the pain a little bit.
Yeah, round of applause.
Standing O. Soft clap. All right, so here's our grill. We got it configured with charcoal on either side. So we have down the middle that's not charcoal. And then we've got our water pan in there to keep the moisture level up. Because you guys know about that, right? So Derek, what I'd like you to do, if you would please, and I'll show you one just so you can get the idea, is we're going to kind of fish from the bottom because there's a lot of juice in there. That'll keep them the juiciest ones. We're going to do this in a couple of different steps. Line them up right down the middle. Okay? All right.
You could probably move the pan down here if you want to get it closer.
Absolutely. You know, that'd probably make a hell of a lot more sense. There I go making sense again.
You know, you make dollars.
I do make dollars. I make like one a day. My name is Pac. Oh, anyway. All right. Yep. So we can just get them nice and tight in there. Yep. There you go. Just like that. Now we're gonna, obviously you can see we're gonna have way too many ribs for the grill to take at one time. So we're gonna do this probably in 2 or 3 stages, which is why we're starting a little early because it's only 2 o'clock and we didn't plan on eating until 4. So we're gonna just, get ahead of ourselves here and do them a little bit faster. And like I said, we'll do them in stages. Maybe we can give these as some appetizers till the main event comes around, right? Right.
Left.
Are you ready?
Ready?
Ready. And the other thing we got to remember, guys, is we've talked about before, is sometimes your grill will have hotter spots and cooler spots, and sometimes we're going to have thicker cuts and thinner cuts. So we're going to have to monitor these fairly closely along the way.
Great form, Derek.
That looks fan-bloody-tastic, right? So
We're not doing the sides? Not doing direct heat at all?
we are doing indirect heat, as you can see. There's charcoal over here, and charcoal over here.
It may take a lot more than...
What is it? Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Yum Yum wood. You guys know about the Yum Yum wood, right?
I thought it
There
was
is.
num num wood.
Num Num wood, yeah.
Num num num
So
num.
to make sure we get our smoke flavor that we want, we're gonna sprinkle in a little bit of the Num Num wood.
We're gonna need to get more num num wood.
Yeah. Oh no.
We got plenty.
We got bags of Num Num wood in there. This
Good.
just happens to be the end of this bag. So there we are.
That's a bowl though.
Whatever. So, that's going good. We put our lid on, let the smoke do its job. And again, these are going to be in the neighborhood of 275, maybe 300. Again, if we want to control the temperature, we think they're cooking faster than what we want them to, we just throttle it back by using our thing there. Okay? All right, I'm going to reload the Num Num wood. We'll come back and show you what these look like in about 5-10 minutes.
Hey, we gotta do that.
Ready? This way. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, so as you guys know, normally lack of planning and doing too many things and too many irons in the fire at once for me makes me forget steps. We forgot to put a dry rub on these. So, Again, but I whipped one up quick. We threw it on these ones on here already. They've been there about 5-10 minutes. We added some more Num Num wood. So literally all we're gonna have to do with these, you can see the juice coming out of them. They're really juicy. We're just gonna roll them. Okay, not too hard. See that? They're cooking along really nicely. Nothing to this, right? And literally the only reason when you do a low and slow that you want to flip meats like we did on these is just to get a little more even cooking. Now obviously if you're using an offset smoker or something a little more designed for this stuff instead of like a Weber Performance grill like we are, you probably don't have to do that as much. We are just because we can. Dash of pepper. Dash of pepper.
It's not just pepper.
No, it's paprika, it's garlic powder, it's onion powder, you know, the usual stuff. But you use the seasonings you like, because I can't tell you what's going to taste better for you than, you know.
Everyone's got their own taste.
I don't have any taste.
That's
so.
why you had me.
I was forced to take you. I didn't have any choice. You just kind of came along. No,
Oh, hey, not wrong.
no, we love you dearly, Dad. So that's it. That's literally all that's going to take. And another probably 15 minutes. These are going to be getting close to the time where it's caramelizing or candying, if you will. So come back. So here's what our country ribs look like after they've come to temperature. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take a little bit of sass and sass them. Or sauce, if you want to call it sauce. We made up a red raspberry salsa barbecue sauce sweetened with raw honey. Sauce tastes incredible. So what we're doing here, we're adding a little bit of barbecue sauce to these, giving them a couple minutes over the direct heat so they kind of get caramelized, if you will. And even if you won't, they still get caramelized. So we just brush a little bit of that on, give them a few minutes, flip them over, brush it on, give them a few minutes and do that. So that's going to wrap up the meat end of this thing. If you pan over real quick again, you can see we've got a whole spread of food out here. We got a whole bunch of people that are hungry. We're going to feed everybody everything we got out. We got sweet potato fries. We even got Ghostbuster crispy treats. Sweet potato fries.
Look at all the goodies we got.
We got some salads. We got potatoes with cheese that we dig. We got everything. We cook and we cook and we cook and we eat and we eat and we get fatter and fatter. And I love every single bite of it, gang. Hey, you know what? Thanks so much for joining us on the Regular Guy Barbecue. Oh, don't get my nose hairs. We really enjoy having you guys here. We enjoy what we do with this channel. It's so much fun. And you see the love and support we have of all of our family and friends, mostly because they like to eat free meals.
Hey, they brought stuff too.
Huh?
They brought stuff
They
too.
They do. And that's how the potluck works. Everybody brings a meat that they like. Everybody brings a side that they like. Everybody can have the dessert that we
Well,
put
this time
together.
we brought all the meat.
Well, I know, but it's just an example.
They brought the house too.
Anyway, thanks for joining us. You guys know the routine already by now. If you don't, you got to subscribe. You got to like the video. You got to comment below. You got to stick your thumb up your nose.
How about you I stick my thumb up your nose?
Share the videos. We'd love to get the channel growing even faster because you know what happens when we hit 1,000. You already see what's happening when we hit 100. We're at a little over 300 now. When we get to 1,000, we've got an even bigger surprise
Live
for you guys.
streams.
Oh God, I can't wait.
We'd live stream all this stuff.
We live stream and we can do questions and answers. We'll call it Under the Learning Tree, so I can learn, you can learn, we can learn and share not only the foods that we cook, but the knowledge that each and every one of us has. Okay? Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon.